Alright guys, I said I was going to do a matchup between Pyromancer and Peni, but I want to do a Black Panther matchup that I talked about in the last video, which is just seeing if Black Panther goes Scorched Earth and activates Peni's Spiderlings. He would get 2 Kinetic Bursts a turn, and I definitely want to try that out. So we're just going to try out a little test match and see how plausible that is, and does it up Black Panther's chances. Alright, so he gets to go first, which is a little bit different because I kind of wanted Peni to drop some stuff, but let's see here. Let's get this, that, and that. And let's spend, we should only have 2 CP. Let's spend all of that to draw 3 cards. Alright, we can sell this for a CP, and that is it. Alright. Get this out of here. Alright, let's do that. Alright, our main goal is to get our kinetic energy up right now. Let's maybe try to roll 4? Nope. Alright, let's try and roll maybe a 5 or not. Okay. We'll just activate this for now, deal 4 damage. Peni will place a Spiderling from that. We'll place a Spiderling here. We'll take 4 damage. And with that, it'll be Peni's turn. He places a spider web. I would place it here. Alright. So the main thing is we want to draw cards. We'll try for the dice maybe. Steal 1 opponent's dice for a roll phase. Cannot draw cards for a turn. That's 3 CP, or discard that. That's kind of dumb. I mean, that is kind of nice, but also I don't see why we would want that. Now, steal an opponent's dice is interesting. Flipping a dice is also interesting. So this is a 6, this is a 5, this is a 3, this is a 6. Okay. Let's see what we can do with that dice draw. Okay, so see here, we don't have anything here, but this could be flipped. So let's do this, spend 1, and let's flip this. Yeah, flip it to a 1. Yeah, if you flip a dice all the way on its side, you come a 6, because every single dice, the opposite of every dice adds up to a 7. 5 plus 2 equals 7, 3 plus 4 equals 7, 1 plus 6 equals 7. So that goes to a 1, so we can activate Sticky Bomb. Oh wait, no. We can't activate Sticky Bomb, we activate Cyber Hook. Inflict Entangle, place a Cyber Web, and then deal 4 damage. Alright, so we're dealing 4 damage. Let's roll defensive. Deal 1 damage back. Take that 4. Alright. And we take the kinetic energy from that. Alright, so now I want to try and see, that's a good start. Okay, so I think what I want to do is I want to discard this for CP, use 2 CP to upgrade this straight, and I want to try and get a small straight. And get Kinetic Burst from taking that. Already close. Alright, so let's do this, because Entangle screwed us over, but we do get 3 kinetic energy, which is nice. But still no cigar, so it's pass. Play some double Spiderlings. You know what, since I'm feeling adventurous, since this is a test round, I'm going to take one of the opponent's think this makes it so I can get straights. So that's a 4, 5, 6. So we're trying to get a 3 and a 2. That's 2. And we didn't get anything. That's great. So that can only use as a 4. Don't think I can do anything with that. Got rid of that. Let's whiff. Now that can tip it up and down. Hold on. Yeah, I can tip this down to be a 3. So let's spend that, tip it, and we activate large straight, deal 8, place a spider nest and spiderlings, place a spider nest right here, place 2 spiderlings, let's place straight. Alright, so now we're doing 8 damage. Let's do this. Deal 1 damage back. Take 8 damage. And now we got 2 damage from that. Alright. Black Panther's turn. Draw 2. This. From the upkeep, let's do that so we can bring that up. We don't have 2 CP for that. We have a lot of CP to work with though. Oh, we only have 4 dice. That's right. One of these over here. Yeah, that's not good. Better. I want a Kinetic Burst. Okay, that is a small straight. I would take 2 damage, which would give me 2 damage from this, so that'd be 2 instances of damage, because that's isolated and collapse. So that's 2 Kinetic Bursts that I would get from that. This would give me 3, which would make it Kinetic Burst. I already have a Vibranium suit. Alright, let's activate the small straight. So we're going to take 2 damage from this, Kinetic Burst, which gives us webbed, and then 2 damage from these gives us another Kinetic Burst, which gives us 3 pairs, so that's plus 3, so plus 10. Oh yeah, we also get a Kinetic Burst, so we'd max out. So we would burst no matter what. We're just dealing 7 damage though. 7 damage. Alright, so we take 5, she takes 5 damage from the Kinetic Burst, he gets to draw 2 cards, which means he's gonna have to sell these, but he does gain 2 CP, so now he's got 3, and let's spend this, spend 2 to make this 7 undefendable damage, so that'll be 7 damage right there, and that'll be that. So now we got a webbed, but we didn't get to Kinetic Burst, which is nice. So looking at the scoreboard right now, it's kind of even, but let's see here. Let's sell this, and then let's upgrade this. I think we want to get that next turn. Otherwise, Peni gets to go. Let's put a cyber web down. Let's put it right here again. Alright, so this because I don't care. Oh, perfect. Perfect piggy bomb. Deal 6 plus 1 flat damage. So let's do the flat damage now. Place 2 spiderling. Shoot. Place the. I'm only supposed to grab 2. Okay, so let's place 1 here. Here. Alright, so I want to spread these out. Let's place this one here. Okay. Let's dealing 6 damage. There's a spiderling there, but that's what we wanted. We do 2 damage back. We take 6 damage. We take the damage from a spiderling. Another damage, but we get a kinetic burst from that. And then it's our next turn. Remove status effects. We'll get rid of this. Get that out of here. Oh, that was supposed to be undefendable. How much did we do? We did 2 damage here. Alright, transfer chosen status effects. Don't need it. Okay. It's a small straight again, but let's try and go for a large. Alright, so spend this, change this to 6, activate large straight, so we take 1 damage from the spiderling, kinetic burst, 2 damage from the cyber web, and get inflicted with web, so 2 more, but another kinetic burst. Gain 2 kinetic bursts from the large straight, which is 9 damage. 9 damage plus the 3 we have, so that's 12 incoming damage. Which she heals 3 of that, so she takes 9. And okay. Still looking somewhat even. Got our main phase here. I kind of want to keep these tokens though. Alright, let's keep those. Sure. Mainly want to focus on inflicting some damage, which we will. Web snare, deal 4 damage, place 2 spiderlings. Right here. Here. We place a cyber web on the straight again. And inflict webbed, which we already have, so we can't do that again, but we do 4 undefendable damage, which gives them a kinetic burst. Nice. Alright, so with that goes the Black Panther's turn. Sell that. We're going to kinetic burst again. All we gotta do is activate those streaks. Or activate this. I actually want to activate this. No, I want to activate damage because, yeah, we need to activate damage. Which we can from this. Okay, so we're going to take 1 from the spiderling. But that's going to ignite our kinetic burst since we have 7, so it's going to go up to 8, so that it activates our kinetic burst. Which means we're going to gain 2 CP, draw 2 cards, and deal 5 undefendable. And then we deal 6 and roll 2 for our actual ability. Do 3, so add 1, so that's 7, and then gain 2 kinetic energy, which is plus 1 again, so that's deal 8. Okay, she's gonna heal 1, place a spiderling, let's place it back on the triple threat, and then let's place the spider nest on, let's place it on this. I do believe we skipped the upkeep. No, the spider nest is gone. Okay, good. Okay, let's see here. So deal 8. Alright, so now this is looking a little bit better for us. Now we've got 4. We didn't trip anything. Let's pass our turn. Okay, so Peni, let's put the spider web. Let's put 1 here. is our card? Remove a status effect from a chosen player. Let's remove Vibranium Suit. And what's our roll look like over here? Those. Roll this. Place 2 spiderlings, do 6 damage. Okay, so place this here and there, and then deal 6 damage. So taking a spiderling damage, we gain a kinetic burst. We deal 1 damage back to her. She deals 6 back to us. We gain another kinetic from that. Alright, so charging up pretty well here. Penny's gonna have to do some serious damage. But I'm gonna spend this so we can place an extra 2 for double the amount. We're gonna double up there, and we're gonna double up here. Alright, so we're gonna have to use that attack mod, but I mainly want to. Okay, so that's so 6, 6, 6. Well, that's not good. That's extremely not good. Nope, no, that was a 3, that was a 3, that was a 3. Okay, is there any way I can make this good? I can make it a large straight, which would inflict that. I'm actually going to do that. Spend 3 to change this to a 2. Actually, we only had to change 1 value. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We take 2 damage. Shoot. I didn't want to clone that. I wanted to delete this. What did I do? Okay, so that spiderweb's going to do 2 damage to us. Delete it. Thank you. 2 damage. Flick Kinetic Burst. Spiderlings, there's 2 of them, so do 2 damage. Another Kinetic Burst. Then deal 9 damage plus 2 kinetic energy, which I'm pretty sure, yeah, will cause a burst. So bursts. Which will deal 5. CP, draw 2 cards, gain 2 CP from that. Might as well because we have a lot. Let's do 1 CP to roll 5 dice. Add 4, so that's 13 damage incoming. She gets to heal 2 and place a spiderling, not that it will do anything. 13. Yeah. So that was pretty, I think that's got to be your strategy for Black Panther, to be honest. Like, I just wanted to play a practice game to see how that would work, but I think that's kind of what you got to do to play Black Panther against Penny. You gotta actually, like, trigger her mines, because every time you trigger her mines, you get a kinetic burst from taking that isolated damage from the, well, it's collat damage, but it's still an isolated source of collat damage, so you're it kind of is the best strategy for Black Panther in general. Like, Black Panther mains triggers Penny's mines and her cyberwebs, because every time a cyberweb and a spiderling do damage to you, that's 2 sources of undefendable damage. 2 sources of isolated damage. So that's, you're triggering, you're getting 2 kinetic bursts per offensive roll phase, and then defense, when you're taking damage, that's another one. So you can potentially get a lot of kinetic energy from Penny by just triggering her mines. So honestly, that is a pretty good strat. If you're a Black Panther main out there and you're playing against Peni Parker, if you were playing in a homebrew tournament where someone uses a Peni Parker in their custom tournaments, go straight into it. Charge straight into her mines. Obviously, if you're playing Marvel Rivals, don't do that, especially if you're on my team. But in this game, trigger those mines. If you trigger those mines, you get kinetic energy from that. And we bursted, I think, 3 times, so that's 15 combined undefendable damage dealt to Peni, which is massive. Black Panther won pretty damn easy. So yeah, I guess for Black Panther mains, just trigger those mines, trigger those spider webs. You'll just take the damage on the cheek because you're already basically you're already charging up your passive kinetic energy as you do it. So as always, guys, we're gonna do the Pyromancer for the next playtest, but that was a pretty good session with Black Panther. I do think that'll be the strategy from now on. But of course, as always, like if you like, dislike if you don't, subscribe down below if you're new to the channel, comment down below which matchup you'd like to see next, and I'll see you guys with the next matchup. Toodaloo!